Right now, the financial media is running wall-to-wall coverage designed to make you do one thing, make you afraid. Fear sells. Panic sells even better. But fear is also one of the most reliable wealth transfer mechanisms ever invented. When retail investors panic and sell quality assets at the bottom, someone is on the other side of that trade. And today, I want to talk about how to make sure that you're on the right side of that trade. Here's what's happening in the markets right now. And more importantly, here's exactly how we're navigating it systematically, without emotion, and with a process that's generated real income even in this environment. Now stick with me, because at the end of this video, I'm going to tease something that could change your results this year, and I'll show you how to get access to part 2 of this video on our website, where I walk through the exact covered call trade I made on Nvidia last month that put $6,800 in my pocket. So let's start by looking at what's driving this market, because you can't develop a strategy without first understanding the battlefield, right? So pull up your phones, open Google. Here's what the financial media is saying today. Stagflation trades sweep markets as Trump signals a widening war. Bloomberg here is quoting one fund manager, one who literally said, and I quote, "The current situation is being dominated by emotions such as fear and disbelief. He is raising cash levels." Let me ask you something. When has panic selling into cash ever been the right long-term move? Right, never. But that's what it does to intelligent people. It makes you rethink things. It gives fear in your brain. How about this one? Yardeni raises odds of U.S. market meltdown to 35% on Iran war. Now, Ed Yardeni is a pretty smart guy, and I respect his work. He's raised his meltdown probability to 35%. But notice what he also said. His base case, a roaring 2020s scenario with robust growth, still carries a 60% probability. Yet the media only runs the scary number to scare ya, right? That's the game. They sell fear. We build wealth. Stock market today. Dow lost 3% last week for its worst performance in nearly a year as oil prices ramped higher. Look at all the fear in there, right? Down 3% in a week. That sounds brutal if you have no plan, but for those of us who are running covered calls on quality position, that week generated income. Every single week. Now, here's the analogy I'd like you to hold on to for this entire video. Imagine that you're a ship captain. The storm comes, the amateur captain panics, he starts throwing cargo overboard, he points the bow into the waves, he reacts to every swell, he's exhausted, losing cargo, he may not survive the storm. But the seasoned captain, he already ran the weather models. He already knew the storm was possible. He secured the cargo. He knew exactly what course to hold. And while the storm rages, he's calm, but he's happy because he's got a process. And that's what we're going to talk about today, the process. There are 3 forces hitting this market simultaneously right now: fear, war, and oil. And let's break each one down, not to scare you, but to understand the opportunity buried inside each one. The conflict in the Middle East, now into its second, almost third week, has drawn more than a dozen countries into the fray, and it's now sparking concerns about an inflation crisis. Here's the reality of war in markets, and history is very clear on this. The initial shock creates fear. Prices drop. Volatility spikes. That's the panic indicator, right? And then over weeks and months, markets stabilize and often recover to new highs because economies are resilient. I'm not minimizing the human tragedy of geopolitical conflict, but as stewards of our family's financial futures, we have to remain rational when others aren't. Let's go back to that analogy. War in the market is like that Category 5 hurricane. When it's announced, everyone evacuates, right? But real estate prices in the path crater. But the investors who study historical patterns know that in many cases, the best buying opportunities, they appear exactly when the storm hits land. Oil prices, which spiked to nearly $120 a barrel on Monday, drivers are seeing the highest gas prices in more than a year and a half as the U.S.-Iran war disrupts the global oil trade. The average price per gallon of unleaded gas climbed to $3.54 a gallon, the highest since mid-2024, marking a 21% increase from a month ago. You see all that stuff in there? But here's what's interesting. As a net energy exporter, the U.S. has structural advantages that most of the world just doesn't have. Yeah, oil above $130 is a sustained recession risk, but we're not there yet. And even JP Morgan's chief economist is saying the same thing. Going back to our little analogy, a drought can raise water prices. But the guy who runs around panicking to find water at any price, he's going to pay more, right? The prepared investor, he's already got a well on his property. And that's what energy independence looks like at the national level. And it's exactly what a diversified income generating portfolio does for you at the personal level. This is also why I'm looking at energy positions in our portfolio and why some of those positions are generating covered call income even as the broader market sells off. You see, volatility inflates option premiums, and higher fear equals more income potential for the covered call seller. That's a big advantage for us. Software, by the way, is a buying opportunity now that AI disruption concerns have peaked. According to Deutsche Bank research, the narrative is focused on the negative effects on software while kind of ignoring the positive effects of lower programming costs and potential product improvements due to AI. Now, this to me is fascinating. We have a market that is simultaneously afraid of AI destroying jobs and industries, while AI companies themselves, particularly Nvidia, continue to dominate the infrastructure bailout. Bank of America actually named Nvidia one of its top picks for 2026, calling it mid-age blues in AI investment, but forecasting another year of 50% plus year-over-year growth in AI semiconductors. Using that same analogy, the introduction of the steam engine terrified tons of people, tons of horse and buggy manufacturers, and it eliminated some jobs. Sure. And it also created 10 times more jobs, right? AI is kind of like the steam engine for our era. And the question isn't whether to be afraid of it. The question is, are you positioned in the right railroads? Are you positioned in the right cars, right? The right automobile companies. And Nvidia is one of those railroads or one of those automobile companies. And I'll show you again in part 2 on our website exactly how I used a covered call on Nvidia last month to generate $6,800. Unfortunately, they won't let me show it here anymore. Okay, so now you understand the battlefield. Fear, war, oil, AI disruption. It's a lot. And if you don't have a system, it's going to wreck you emotionally and it's going to wreck you financially. So you got to have a system. Here's the thing. We do have a system, and it has 4 steps. Not every stock deserves our capital, especially in a high fear environment. The first filter is brutal simplicity. We only want companies that are fundamentally sound. They're financially strong, and they've demonstrated that they can survive adversity. And when I talk about quality, I mean strong balance sheet, consistent earnings growth, sales growth, pricing power, and leadership in the growing sector. And these are not lottery tickets, these are businesses. And I treat everything that I do here as a business. Think of your stock selection process as underwriting a rental property. You don't just buy any house in a neighborhood at any price. You have criteria, right? You have standards, right? And the house has to cash flow. The neighborhood has to be stable or it has to be improving. The tenant has to have income. Same kind of principle here. In this environment, I'm looking at companies like Nvidia, which is the dominant infrastructure provider for AI. Not a speculative AI company, but the company selling the picks and the shovels during the gold rush. And I'm looking at energy names with strong free cash flow. I'm looking at companies where analyst upgrades are coming in even as the broad market is selling off. For example, CNBC just reported that even in this crazy week, analysts were upgrading Nvidia as a core AI holding on agentic and physical AI. And so when quality gets sold off because of macro fear, not fundamental deterioration, that's the real opportunity. Quality stock selection is just the first filter. The second step is understanding the macro and the technical environment. That's what we've been talking about here, right? You wouldn't open a beach umbrella in the middle of a tornado, right? Because timing matters. And right now, we're watching lots of setups. Volatility is elevated. The VIX has spiked up, and that's actually good for us option sellers. Option premiums are inflated, and when fear is high, the income from covered calls increases. We're also watching support levels on the major indices and our individual positions. The S&P 500 is still above key long-term moving averages. The NASDAQ has basically held its line in the last week, and that tells us, despite all the noise, the market structure has not completely broken down, at least not yet. So let's think about that analogy for a second. Think about the market setup like reading the tide charts before you go surfing, for example. You don't just paddle out whenever you feel like it. You know the tide schedule. You know the swell direction. You know when the conditions favor your position. And our process gives us that tide chart for equities. We're not trying to call the exact bottom. Nobody does that consistently. We're looking for a setup where the risk reward tilts heavily in our favor. And the current environment with elevated volatility and quality stocks on sale is beginning to offer what I think is exactly that. And this is where technical analysis meets discipline, right? Once we've identified the quality stock in a favorable setup, we need a precise entry point. We want to get the probabilities on our side. I use a combination of support levels, moving averages, and what I call, or I've called, the pivot, the price zone where buyers and sellers have historically found that equilibrium. Buying at or near that pivot is like buying real estate below your replacement cost. Your downside is structurally limited, and that's what we want because that increases our probabilities. So imagine you find this house that you love. Great neighborhood, great bones, great school district, but you don't offer full asking price in a panic. You wait for the motivated seller. You make an informed offer based on comparable sales and intrinsic value. That patience and that precision is exactly what we do with stocks. This week, as the market sold off, quality stocks moved toward key support. And that's not a reason to panic. That's a reason to sharpen your pencil and get ready to execute. You see, a lot of stocks, what they do is they test these averages, these 50-day moving averages, the 21-day moving averages, the 200-day moving averages. And generally they bounce off of that. And that gives us some certainty and a little bit of support in putting on our next position. So here's the step that separates our approach from everyone else that you see on YouTube. Once we own the quality stock at the right price, we immediately layer on a covered call strategy. This does two things simultaneously. First, it generates immediate income. We collect the premium up front, cash in hand. Whether the stock goes up, sideways, or slightly down, we always get to keep that premium. Second, it reduces our effective cost basis. Every premium that we collect lowers the price that we effectively paid for the stock. This provides the downside cushion that buy and hold investors simply don't have. Think of the covered call as renting out a room in your investment property. You own the house. The house may appreciate over time, sure, but while you're waiting for that appreciation, somebody is paying you rent every single month, and that rent reduces your effective ownership cost, and it produces income that you can compound. This is what CNBC's own option desk described when covering Nvidia strategies, selecting strikes slightly out of the money to capture premium while still leaving a little bit of room for upside appreciation. In fact, CNBC did an in-depth piece on the strategy, noting that Nvidia's elevated implied volatility creates premium collection opportunities with annualized yields of 15 to 19% when structured properly. I appreciate that story. I think it's a bit conservative. Because last month I generated $6,800 in covered call income on Nvidia alone. And I'm going to show you the exact trade, every detail in part 2 of this video on the website. The strike, the expiration, the premium, the entry, why I did it, everything. I want to be direct with you about something on this. The biggest mistake that I see investors make in a fear-driven market is letting their emotions override their process. I always say when emotions go up, intelligence goes down. So here's what that looks like. People watch the headlines. They see oil at $120 a barrel. They see the word war. They see the Dow drop 3% in a week, and then they sell. They move to cash. They wait for that certainty, right? And here's the problem with waiting for certainty. Most of the time, certainty never comes. And by the time it feels safe, you've missed 20%, 30%, sometimes 40% of the recovery. And most people feel like they drive by looking in the rearview mirror, right? They buy when market has already gone up because that feels really safe. They sell when the market's already gone down because that feels smart. But wealth is built by those who read the road ahead, not the road behind them. Our process doesn't eliminate risk. Nothing does. It's the stock market. But it structures your exposure so that even in adverse conditions, you're generating income, maintaining your position in quality names, and staying emotionally grounded. You don't need to beat the market every month. You need to not blow up when the market gets scary, and you need a system that keeps producing income regardless of conditions. That's what covered calls do. In volatile markets, premiums are higher. More fear equals more income potential. A little bit more risk too. Now, for those of you who are serious about taking this to the next level, I want to tell you about something that we're doing in April. We're hosting Wealth Accelerator Live, the strategy room, out in Arizona, right in the Phoenix area. Now, this is not a seminar. It's not a pitch fest. It's a genuine working session where you sit in the room with me and go through this exact process on real positions in real market conditions. And here's what we're going to cover over those days. How to build your own quality stock watch list using the same criteria I use. How to read the market setup so you know when to step in and when to wait. The exact mechanics of the covered call strategy, including how to select your strike and the expiration for maximum income. Even some other strategies as well, and how to architect this as part of a complete wealth framework, because income generation is just one layer of serious wealth management. The people who come to these events leave with a completely different relationship to the market. Not because I hand them some kind of a magic formula, but because they immerse themselves in a process and a community that holds them accountable to that process and to that community and to themselves. The market you're looking at right now, the fear, the oil, the war headlines, that's exactly the environment where the right process separates the wealth builders from everybody else. If you want to be in the room in Arizona, the link is in the description below. Space is limited. Hotel room space is even more limited. We keep these intimate by design, but I'd love to have you there. Now let me tell you about part 2 of this video, because this is where we go from concepts to actual execution. On our website, cashflowmachine.net, and then you go to the video section, I've published this complete part 2 walkthrough. And this is what you get there. I walk you through the exact Nvidia covered call trade that I executed last month, right? For education purposes. The stock price when I entered, the specific call option that I sold, the strike price, the expiration date, the premium that I collected, and the total income generated, which was $6,800. I show you the decision-making framework, how I use the 4 steps that we just covered to identify Nvidia as the right stock, read the market setup, pinpoint my entry, and execute the covered call for maximum income. And I show you how this single trade fits into a broader monthly income strategy, one that doesn't require you to be glued to a screen or guess where the market is going next. So if this video is the weather forecast, part 2 is the plan. And it's not just the storm is coming, but exactly how to set your sails, which heading to hold, and how to make the wind work for you instead of against you. So head to cashflowmachine.net right now, click on the little video section up there, and part 2 is right there and waiting for you. Completely free, no opt-in required. Just go watch it. If you found value in this video, and I hope you did, hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell, because this market is going to continue to create opportunities, and I'm going to continue to show you how to capitalize on every single one of them as they come up. The market's going to do what the market's going to do, and our job is to have a process that works regardless of the headlines. Stay systematic, stay disciplined, and I'll see you in part 2, or maybe I'll even see you in Arizona. Take care.
The information you just heard is for education and information. This is not financial advice.